Just wanted to welcome you all here in this space. Thank you. Some of you I know, some of you I don't know. So my name is Nichole, and this is David over here. And we just wanted to share a bit about our incredible breathwork training. Before we do, let's just take a moment to ground with a little bit of breath. So I'm just going to guide us through a ratio breath where we will inhale for 2 and we will exhale for 4. So we're exhaling longer than our inhale, which helps to slow down our heart rate and helps us to start to stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system so we can be in a place of rest and digestion. So if it feels okay for you, I'll have you close down your eyes or just take a soft gaze to the earth, whatever feels good. And let's just together take a deep breath in through the nose. And a big exhale. Taking a moment to land and arrive in your body. And feeling yourself soften into the space. And connecting to, coming into contact with whatever might be there for you. Maybe there's a bit of excitement or nervousness or curiosity. And we're going to start the breath again through the nose, in and out. So go ahead and exhale to the very bottom of your lungs. You're going to inhale for 1, 2, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 2. Inhale 1, 2, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale all the way to the fullest of your lung capacity. And give it a good sound as you exhale. Beautiful. And when you feel ready, you can let your eyes meet the screen again. And we'll go ahead and just start this free informational call all about breathwork and the breathwork training. David, you want to take it off here?
Yeah, of course. Well, you guys welcome, each one of you. Brenda, Dallas, Derek, Diana, Kat, Mandy, Renata, Sarah, and Whitney. It is great to have all of you here. Welcome, welcome. And if you want to turn on your video, we'd love to see your beautiful, shiny face post Thanksgiving Day. But if you can't, that's totally fine. I wanted to make sure before we begin to introduce Mandy Adams. If you guys have not met Mandy before, her waving on the screen there, she is the owner of Behind the Lids, and so she is the brains behind all that happens at the facility. And so, Mandy, thanks for being here today. Any words of welcome you want to share with us? I'll ask you to unmute there.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to come in and say hello. Thank you all for being here. This is so much fun. Thanks, Nichole and David, for putting this together. I love it. Hope to see you all at Breathwork Training.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mandy.
Well, hey, the reason why we wanted to host this session for just a few minutes is one, obviously, to help you understand more about what breathwork certification is all about at Behind the Lids. But whether this is a good fit for you or not in terms of this certification, really to help you understand how a breathwork certification can help you grow your own coaching business, however you function as a coach, healer, practitioner, facilitator, whatever that might look like. So my hope is today that you walk away feeling inspired, whether this is a good time frame or a good fit for you or not, to go, wow, I want to integrate this into my coaching practice. And however that plays out over the next few months. So Nichole is the mastermind behind the training and the certification at Behind the Lids. And so I had just proposed to her and Mandy to go, hey, can we just have a time where I can ask you questions so that people can hear about your experience and how this has transformed your personal life and your business. So the first thing, Nichole, I just want to get started with our conversation here is, when were you introduced to breath work? How did this come into your life, and how has it changed your life?
Yeah. So I was introduced to breathwork really 11 years ago when I started a yoga practice, actually. And since then, I've been kind of obsessed with studying the breath. And so I've been studying breathwork with various teachers in different forms for the past 11 years. And it continuously would blow my mind, the power of the breath, like this tool that we have inside of us that ultimately I always say is our superpower, because it has helped me stabilize my nervous system. It has helped me process things that have been stagnant or stuck in my heart, in my body, in my mind. It has brought me back to myself, my truth, time and time again. It never gets old. And it's so fun to have this little tool inside of me, of you, of all of us that can shift our state of being literally in any moment, in any situation, in any time of the day. And so for me, that's just been a really huge life-changing experience with the breath.
You know, it's breath work is relatively new for me in terms of my own life, but it's so amazing how something that we just assume or take for granted, right? It's involuntary, breathing is, but
Right.
then when it becomes intentional, how powerful it is. And that seems like a metaphor for anything in life. You know, anything that's just involuntary, we take it for granted.
Exactly. So true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah. So as you started studying breath work, how were you able to integrate it into your personal? I guess I would differentiate between your personal practice, like your personal, either,
Mhm.
mental, physical, mental health practice, and then also your coaching business. Maybe tease those out between the two if you don't mind.
Sure. For me, my breathwork practice will shift day to day. It'll shift in relation to how I'm feeling and what my needs are. And so my breathwork practice might be in the morning, or it might be in the middle of the day, it might be at night. Sometimes I like to be guided, sometimes I like to do it on my own. And I like having there's so many breathwork practices, so I like to choose one that is meeting what my nervous system needs, meeting what my mind needs, what I actually need in that moment. And use that the same way I do with my clients. Depending on where they're at, I'm able to meet them where they're at. Okay, well, this style of breath will help this agitated nervous system or this agitated mind, or this style of breath is going to help someone who feels a little bit more lethargic, or this style of breath work is going to help someone process some trauma or process some unprocessed emotions or energy. And so I use it in so many different ways, and it's such a powerful tool to offer to the people that I work with one-on-one, and I'm always working with people one-on-one. And really the biggest one that you'll actually learn in the training is a rebirthing breath work. And so I like to use that one as a way to, get rid of all the stuff that's not yours, that's like been passed down to you, and have an opportunity through the power of your own breath to rebirth your truth into this reality. And so that's probably one of the biggest ways that I like to use the form of breath work with my clients.
I'm hearing you talk about not just cultivating a sense of returning to the parasympathetic and returning to like peace, but like
Mhm.
this deep processing. You just used the word rebirth. How
Mhm.
how does that, like, maybe for people who are on the call or who are watching the replay, how is that different? Because like I could see like, oh, this is just a physical process. This is a physical process of my body responding to breath. But you're saying it's almost like this spiritual, psychological process as well.
Yeah, that's what's so great about breathwork, is that it is, it helps with our physical state of being, like any pain or anything of that sort. It helps with our emotional state, and it 100% is rooted in a spiritual experience. And you'll learn more about this in the training, but there's many reasons behind it, but with different parts of the brain that we're accessing, different chemicals that are released in the brain during the breathwork process. And so with the intention behind, like, okay, like I'm stuck in this one way of being, I'm stuck in this pattern, I'm stuck in this, rut. It's like with the breath, with clear intention, you can get yourself out of that, right? And so that in and of itself is a rebirthing. Like we can have many rebirthing processes throughout our lives, many ego deaths throughout our lives, and breathwork, I find, certain styles is that bridge, that link between who we think we are and who we want to and desire to be.
Mhm. What are, without obviously you're not sharing names, but like, can you give us some examples of how this has impacted clients? What
Yeah.
type of thing that you're talking about in terms of a rebirth or egoic death or?
Yeah. So I've been able to witness my clients gain clarity over what they want, like really just move the fog away and really see the truth of who they want to be and the lives that they want to live. Um, I've been able to witness people come back to themselves time and time again, and to, process what has been lingering and stuck and shoved down. We live in a culture that is depressed. And so if you think of that word depressed, it's to push down, it's to suppress, it's to ignore. And so we live in a culture where everything is just pushed down, and then we feel stuck. And so I've been able to see people break free of that depression, break free of their anxiety, break free of whatever might be depressed down, as we bring it up to the surface to process in a heartfelt way through the breath. I've been able to see people process old traumas that have been lingering in their lives for forever, for years, and just really have radical breakthroughs. It's such a gift, really.
So I'm thinking about people that may be on the call or watching via replay that might be a yoga instructor,
Mhm.
a health and wellness coach, a a life coach or a business coach, or a meditation instructor, or um, help me like apply how breathwork could be integrated into each one of those businesses. Like if I'm a meditation instructor and I'm just used to doing meditations, give me a vision for how I could use breathwork in that, or health coaching, or whatever it might be.
Well, what's good about the training, and I'll speak to this because, there's many breathwork trainings out there, and usually you're learning probably one breathwork style. And so in this training, you're learning actually 10 different breathwork styles. And so let's just say you're a meditation teacher, you can choose a certain breathwork practice that is going to help a person drop into a more meditative state. So before we drop into stillness and like woo from the chaos, like something has to take us into that space of quietness. And so what's going to anchor us into that? It's our breath. If you're, working as a spiritual coach or a health coach, again, it's just meeting your client. What do you need right now? And saying, okay, I have a really powerful breath practice that could help you overcome this ailment, this issue, this conflict that you're having with yourself. And so it can the training really has so many that we learn 10 different breathwork practices, again, so that you can meet whoever you're working with where they are and offer them a practice, a tool to say, here, try this on, see how it feels for you.
I could even see this being super helpful for a licensed marriage family therapist, or a social worker, anybody who's
Absolutely. Yeah,
helping.
because it shifts your state. So if you're in a state that's very chaotic and you're not grounded in yourself and in your center, it's really hard to have a hard conversation. It's really hard to know what the next step is. And so the breath, again, is that tool, that anchoring point that tethers us here into this truth, into this reality, into the true being of who you are, so that you can have conversations with more compassion and clarity, so that you can show up in your lives in a more grounded, centered way.
You know who this training would be incredible for, Nichole? I just thought of it. Elementary, middle school, and high school teachers.
Yeah, for real, they would. Yeah, I could
Right?
totally see that. Yeah.
Yeah, having you guys, all the kids are just doing this breathing in the middle of class. It's
Yeah.
so powerful. Yeah, really, really powerful. Okay, so embodied breathwork training, embodied breathwork facilitator training, I should say. Um, what will people experience over the course of these 2 weekends? So the dates, which are we're just releasing now via video, is January 20th through the 22nd, and
Mhm.
the 27th through the 29th.
Yeah.
Uh, this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday. It's what, 6:30 to 8:30, I believe.
Each Friday is 6:30 to 8:30, and then Saturday and Sunday is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. But the last Sunday we actually end around 5 because we have our graduation and we have our practice schedule. So that day goes a little bit longer because of that.
So what is this? What would I experience if I show up to this? Paint a picture for me.
Yeah. One of the biggest things that I notice when walking away from this training is connection and community. People have found true, authentic friendships in the training. I mean, even from last trainings, people are still getting together, having lunch, going on hikes, meeting for Friendsgiving. It's like, it's so beautiful to witness like communities of like-minded people having a space where they can like find each other and like have these really cool conversations. So that's one of the biggest things. So much love, so much healing, and then really just being educated in all things breath work. So not just the practices, but what happens physiologically, mentally, what happens to our brain, what happens to our physical body, so that when you're leading, you're leading from a place of not only embodiment, because we do all the practices and we learn how to be an embodied leader and an authentic leader, but you're well educated in the practices. You're well educated in how the practices are effective. So you learn the science, the anatomy, the spirituality, the neuroscience of it, the psychology behind it. You're really getting a full in-depth certification for sure.
You mentioned there are 10 breathwork styles that you teach in the certification. Can you give us a few of those? Maybe give us a little demonstration of one that we don't even, maybe some of us haven't even heard of a particular one.
Yeah, so you'll learn 8 practices that are a little bit older. You can call them more ancient style practices, but probably not many have practiced before, and maybe a few you have. The 2 modern ones that we're offering in the training, the more like holotropic style, I'll demonstrate those right now. So one of them is called the circular breath, which also can be known as the rebirthing breath. So you kind of hear these 2 interchangeably, and you can use it to guide your clients through a rebirthing process. And that one is done lying down. It's done through the mouth. And it's just this circular breath that's continuous. There's no pausing, there's no stopping. And so it would go something like this. And so you'll notice the in-breath goes right into the out-breath. It's down deep into the belly. And what you also notice when working with people, not many people can even breathe down that deep. And so we also learn how to get people to even access that depth in their belly. So that's one of the styles that we learn. And then we learn a 3-part breath with a void retention. And so this is unique. I've developed the void retention to be with this style of breath work. And the void retention is this place where we exhale and we hold for a little bit of time. And we get to be in this stillness, in this void, in this emptiness, in this nothingness where everything can be birthed from. We get to come into contact with what's beyond the chaos of my mind, what's beyond the chaos of my emotional state. And so that breath work would look like a 2-part inhale, 1-part exhale. I'll demonstrate it, and then maybe we'll just go through like a 1-minute practice for everyone to feel what it would feel like to breathe this style and to drop into the void space. So here's what it would look like. And ultimately, we usually would be lying down, but for this short little practice, we can stay seated. But it's an inhale into the belly, an inhale into the chest, and then an exhale. And so it goes like this. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. And so after that, we take a deep breath in, and then we exhale all the way to the very bottom, and we'll hold. So let's try that for just 1 minute so we can all have a little flavor of it, just in case you've never done it before. And especially if you've never done the void retention. If it feels okay, you can just sit up nice and tall. Make sure your chest is open. You're not collapsed down. You want to be nice and open so the breath has space to move. And you can close down your eyes. And let's just take 1 inhale through the nose. One exhale out of the mouth. We'll begin. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Good. Continue that pattern. Belly, chest, exhale. Belly, chest, exhale. Good. We're going to go just another 20 seconds or so. Belly, chest, exhale. Keep going. You might already feel a little bit of that energy building in your body, a little bit of that sensation. Keep breathing. Belly, chest, exhale. You're welcome to go a little slower or a little faster, but keep that pattern the same. Bring your attention away from the mind into the body, into the breath. Keep going. I'm going to be silent for just a moment while you continue the breath pattern. Let's do 3 more rounds. Belly, chest, exhale. Beautiful. Let's all inhale through the mouth to the top. Big open mouth, let it go. And then hold there at the bottom of the exhale. Let your belly and your chest soften at the bottom of the exhale. We're just going to hold. Feel that spaciousness. Beautiful. Deep inhale. And exhale. You can take your time. When you're ready, you can bring your eyes back to the screen.
Thank you, Nichole.
Yeah, thank you.
So 10 different styles that we'll be learning during the facilitator certification. I put it in chat, but if there are any questions that you have, you can even just put them in the chat if you wouldn't mind, any questions that are coming to your mind. We'd love to be able to answer those. But one last question for you, Nichole. Why does a certification matter? Like why, and why is Behind the Lids certification different? You know what I mean? Why there's lots of places that we could take breath work, we could take YouTube classes, YouTube courses, but why is this different?
So I'll speak to why it's different, and then I'll speak to why I think it's important to have one. This breathwork certification is different because you're not only learning how to facilitate breathwork, but you're learning how to hold space for others' trauma, to hold space for others to process things. So you're learning truly how to be an embodied leader. So throughout the training, we do a little bit of our own inner work so that we can clear our own stuff away, so we can step forward onto this path without feeling like, we have imposter syndrome or we're not good enough or whatever our old stories might be. So we get to step forward into leadership through this training. We get to step forward into how to hold space for others as they're going through their process. And again, this training, you're learning so many different breathwork styles, not just one. So you get to walk away with all these tools in your tool belt. And I feel like it's important to have a breathwork certification because it just holds so much value. It's something to be proud of. When you have sure, we all can learn on YouTube, learn how to do a breathwork practice and then share it with others. But when you have a certification, it shows that you are educated in what you're facilitating. And I think that holds a lot of value for people to want to come to you and to really trust that you know what you're doing, that you're capable of guiding others in those processes with the breath.
Awesome. A couple questions popping into the chat, and we'll answer those in just a moment. If you have other questions that you have for Nichole, be sure to pop them in there.
Yeah.
One of the things that we were excited about offering today, because it is Black Friday, is the opportunity to sign up early for the next Embodied Breathwork Facilitator training. And so I want to share the page with you. And this is a huge discount. This is the first time that Behind the Lids has offered this level of a discount. And so normal price for this training is $1,110. And so for the next 24 hours, Behind the Lids is offering a Black Friday special of only $777. And so that's a $333 discount. And this is only available until 11 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So literally just 24 hours. And if you go to blackfridaybreathwork.com right now, and Nichole, if you wouldn't mind putting that in the chat,
Yeah.
blackfridaybreathwork.com. It's the same URL you used to sign up for this call. This page will pop up, and you'll see on this page, it's got the two parts. Part one, January 20th to the 22nd, and then part two, 27th to the 29th, 6:30 to 8:30 on Friday, 10 to 3 on Saturday and Sunday, except for the final day, 10 to 5. Of course, it's located at Behind the Lids in Costa Mesa. And I know Behind the Lids has had people fly in for this from other parts of the country even to get certified. So even if you know someone who lives in another state or even another country and you know they're interested in breath work, I would ask you to share this URL with them, Black Friday Breathwork, because it's a really it's a great opportunity for them to learn from Nichole in a beautiful space. And then there's also a video here just gives you some behind the scenes of what the breathwork training looks like and what you'll learn, and then specifically what you'll learn on weekend number 1 and then weekend number 2. All right, so blackfridaybreathwork.com, $1,110 is the normal price. Today, just for 24 hours, $777. And so you can check that out there. So let's see, we got a few questions here, Nichole. The first is from Kat. Is there any training in integrating music with the breathwork that has been most impactful for me in breathwork healing?
Yeah, good question, Kat. So the music is actually one of the most important layers when guiding a breathwork journey. It really helps in taking someone on a journey. Depending on your intention, you're going to add specific music so that people can have that greater experience. So you do learn that in this training on how to place music along the entire class and the breathwork session that you're offering, and what kind of music that is, and how to align your music with your intention so that you're giving people the best journey ever. So yeah, that's one of the main pieces, is the breath, the intention, and the music. So yeah, good question.
And then Dallas asked, how do you deal with clients that are non-spiritual?
So the thing with breath is that it's what keeps us alive, right? It's like it's here with us. We all can agree on that. Breathwork that not only gives you a spiritual experience, it does, and it can, and it does. If a person's not spiritual, you just don't bring that piece into it. You can just share the other effects of breathwork. Like it helps with anxiety, it helps with depression, it helps with calming your mind, it helps with balancing your emotions and being more centered and grounded in yourself. Those are all basic, human needs and rights that we have. And so when we can mirror that to someone, I feel like most people are going to resonate and relate to that. So you can really relate breathwork to anyone and everyone. You just meet them where they're at, and you'll learn that in the training. Like, how do I meet this person where they're at without forcing my ideas or beliefs onto them or whatever it might be, and just show them what's available in the breath while meeting them exactly where they are. And that's truly an embodied leader. Hopefully that answered your question, Dallas.
Dallas was also curious about any safety, like if they're perhaps having some sort of medical, need during the breath work. Is there any training that's provided about that?
So this training is done through a trauma-informed lens. So let's just say someone has a panic attack in your breathwork, which can happen. You learn how to get someone out of a panic attack. You learn how to bring someone back to the calmness, back to their state. You learn trauma-informed techniques. So it's all done through a trauma-informed lens. And depending on, you also learn like who should absolutely not be doing certain breathwork styles, like who is this actually not going to benefit. So you also learn that as well. So hopefully that answers your other question.
Nichole, do you see Derek's question there?
Yeah, neuroscience nerd, and I'm just going to read it in my mind because it's long.
And as she's doing that, if any others of you have any questions, pop them into the chat. We want to be mindful of your time as we wrap up here. But once again, blackfridaybreathwork.com, available for 24 hours and only $777. It's a discount of $333. And if you have friends that live locally or anywhere else, I would invite you to have them check that out.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. So I just finished reading this, Derek, and I want to make sure I'm understanding the question. So it doesn't seem like there's a question in here. Hold on. As well as in my work, people I notice. Yeah, so people definitely like in the spiritual, I mean, this is a really deep topic, and so I won't be able to fully answer it here, but we can, in the training, there's space for us to go deep into these conversations and to bring your client stuff there. So I could even offer, some advice if you have like a specific person that you're speaking about. But yeah, and in the spiritual culture, there is a lot of bypassing. And if you're asking like, how do we help people to not bypass, we go through that in the training. Again, it's really in the most simplest form is meeting people where they're at, and then holding the level of what I call the compassion of truth, or the compassion of possibility, and seeing what they can't see for themselves, and holding that vision so bright for them in front of them that they finally say, okay, yes, I can access that. I can process my stress. I can move into the parts that feel uncomfortable, because they're being seen by someone that sees them for more than they could see themselves in that moment. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, great.
Awesome. This is great. Yeah. Thank you so much, Nichole, for taking time to do this, to share. And Mandy, do you have any final words of encouragement or any other things you want to toss in there?
Mandy, is she frozen?
Oh, I think she is frozen.
Like she's frozen.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, well, she's really still.
Yeah.
That breath work really put her into a calm. She's really calm place. So blackfridaybreathwork.com, and we'll actually send out this replay of this video so that if you have friends who want to watch it, you can share it with them as well. So Nichole, any other final words from you?
I'm just so excited that y'all came on, and I hope to see you January 20th for our breathwork training. I know you will not regret it. You will absolutely love everything about the training, everything you learn, all the people. It's always the right group of people that you end up aligning with in that group. And it's such an honor and a blessing to be able to offer a really in-depth training that is supportive for people to go out there and help change lives. So thank you for saying yes to the call, and hopefully you say yes to yourself and join us in the training.
And if you have questions that come up in the next few hours or tomorrow morning when you wake up, just reply to a Behind the Lids email, and we'll make sure we get that question answered for you. All right?
Yeah.
All right. You guys are amazing. Have a great rest of the day.
Have a good weekend. Bye.